Welcome to reality. You're now on the Code of Mind channel. We are obsessed with one question. Why did this person come into my life? We look for teachers, executioners, or saviors in others. We analyze our traumas, our pain, the injustice done to us. But almost no one stops in front of the mirror and asks, why did I appear in someone else's life? Who did I become for those who met me along their path? In a world woven together by invisible threads of connection, you are not just a passerby. You are a living program. You trigger transformation in others just as inevitably as others trigger it in you. You are the catalyst in someone else's inner reaction. Sometimes you arrive as a lifeboat, and sometimes as the iceberg that shatters someone's ego. You might simply walk past someone accidentally brushing their shoulder in the subway. And in that moment, a puzzle they've been trying to solve for years suddenly completes in their mind. You create waves without ever turning around to see the shore they hit. Imagine this. An old man stands at the gates of eternity. All his life he believed he was insignificant. No great achievements, no heroic acts, no wealth. He asks death, was my life a waste of time? Why was I even here? Death smiles. Do you remember 1964? You were late for a bus and accidentally bumped into a man standing in line for coffee. He spilled it on his shirt, got angry, and went to the restroom to clean it. Because of that, he missed his flight. The plane crashed? The old man asks. No. Death replies. The flight landed safely. Then what was the point? The point, Death says, is that while he was cleaning his shirt, he met someone in that restroom who offered him a job. That man became a great surgeon. 20 years later, he saved a child's life. That child grew up and invented a medicine your granddaughter takes today. You were not the hero, Death continues. You were the interruption that changed the direction of an entire chain of events. You were that inconvenient moment without which the future would never have happened. Your purpose is not always to shine. Sometimes it is simply to shift something in the right direction. We are used to thinking we are one solid identity, but let's zoom out. Right now, there are thousands of versions of you existing in other people's minds. To your mother, you are still a child. To your boss, you are either a useful or a lazy part of the system. To a former lover, you are either a monster or a lost paradise. To a random cashier, you are either a polite person or just another difficult customer. People don't see the real you. They see their projections cast onto your outline. You are a screen onto which they project their fears, their hopes, their unresolved pain. To some, you are light. To others, you are a trigger. And all of this happens at the same time. You are a multi-faced being inside other people's realities. And the most important thing to understand, you cannot and should not control how you appear in someone else's mind. Your task is not to match their filters. Your task is to discover who you are beneath all these layers of other people's expectations. We often blame ourselves for hurting someone. We left. We refused. We stayed silent when words were expected. The mind whispers, you're a bad person. You destroyed someone's comfort. But look deeper. Maybe you were the surgeon without anesthesia, the one who had to cut open what was hidden inside someone else's soul. You might have been the one after whom a person finally hit rock bottom and pushed off from it. After you left, they faced their loneliness for the first time. Your no forced them to rely on themselves for the very first time. You shattered their illusion of safety so they could finally build something real. Yes, it's a heavy burden to be the villain in someone else's story. But you didn't come to destroy. You came to initiate a process. Sometimes a person doesn't need a crutch. Sometimes they need a fall so they can learn how to fly. Your role as a catalyst is not diminished just because no one thanked you. You are the spark that burned away someone's old limiting shell to make space for a new version of their life. Every person you meet is your test, and you are a test for them. A toxic colleague tests your boundaries, but you test whether they will finally meet resistance that makes them reflect. A partner you left is tested on self-worth, but you are tested on honesty with yourself. We are all mirrors in a distorted hall of reflections. We stretch, shrink, and reshape each other's qualities. And the moment you realize you are not random, you are ready for awareness. This doesn't mean becoming soft, polite, and agreeable to everyone. Being real sometimes means being firm, sometimes disappearing without explanation. If your presence only feeds someone else's weakness, you might be the stranger who said one sentence at the next table in a cafe and changed someone's life. You might be the one who chose silence instead of reacting to aggression, and through that silence taught someone dignity. Your presence can pull someone out of darkness or become the final push. We are not just the main characters in our own stories. We are background actors who step onto someone else's stage at the exact right moment, say one line, and disappear forever. But without that line, their entire story would collapse. And deep inside, you will always know you were never just a shadow. You were a critical moment. You are the choice you make every single day. Who do you choose to be today? The one who confirms someone's fears or the one who awakens their strength? We are used to measuring impact by words and actions. But reality works differently. You are a constant signal. Your state, your confidence, or your hidden fear is background music heard by everyone around you. Have you noticed? You walk into a room where people just argued, and you can feel the tension in the air. You didn't hear the words, but the code of conflict is already in the space. The same way, when you enter a place, step into a taxi, or stand in a line, you broadcast your frequency. You might save someone from making a fatal decision just by radiating calm in a moment of chaos. And they will never know they survived because of a stranger who simply stood nearby and held the space. You are not just passing by. You are a stabilizer in someone else's reality. Every person runs loops and patterns for years, and then you appear. And you don't give them what they're used to demanding. Not sympathy, not validation, not empty promises. You give them what they truly need, truth. And in that moment, their ego reacts. You become their enemy. But it is your refusal, your distance, or your sudden disappearance that becomes the breaking point. You are the glitch in their system that forces a reset. It's an ungrateful role. No one builds monuments for this. But on a larger scale, you performed something precise. You pulled someone off a path that was leading them into destruction. You are a sacred provocateur, and your weapon is honesty. We never see the full chain. We only see the present moment. But the truth is, you are a co-author of millions of stories unfolding right now. You are an invisible editor of other people's destinies. Your "I'm sorry" at the right moment, or your firm "leave," rewrites the code of the future. You are not just a moment. You are a system event that shifts reality itself. And when you truly realize how powerful you are, a deep silence comes. You can no longer afford to act unconsciously, because if you spread negativity, you're not just releasing emotion, you are disrupting someone else's fragile world. To be real means being aware of what you leave behind in someone else's heart. Clarity or confusion, strength or weakness. You are not meant to be a soft surface for others to walk on. You are meant to be like the edge of a diamond, clear, precise, and unbreakable. Your presence should make people stand straighter, not because you teach them, but because your clarity exposes everything false. We are all part of one great orchestra. There are no minor roles. Some lead the melody, some hold the rhythm, some simply turn the pages at the right time. But remove one, and the entire symphony falls apart. You are the key. You are the trigger. You are the turning point that gives meaning to someone else's life. And if you are hearing this now, it means it's time to recognize your power. You are no longer allowed to see yourself as small. You are a force. Right now, in this exact moment, you are shifting someone's destiny. So who will you be today? Just another passerby afraid to affect others? Or a conscious creator who brings light, even when it means breaking illusions? Look at every person you meet today not as background, but as someone whose story you are shaping right now, just by existing. Now live with that. Create with that. And don't be afraid to be the turning point that changes everything. Thank you for being with me on this channel. I wish you the best possible branch of reality. Subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video. Take care.